Hey guys, Dan Percival here, founder of the sport of extreme ice skating, and I'm going to give you some updates now on the extreme ice skate, and this will probably be sort of like a cut video. It's not going to be like a total run through because this is part of a process that I'm working on, so I'm going to record as I go along. So here's what I have. I'll show you. So this is the fix for the X design. So remember last time everything was right, everything was correct, all the angles were right, except for right here up on that backstay. This is called the backstay because I'm going to be using this term now a lot. This is called the backstay, so the angle has to be right so that it looks, so the angle meets right there at the back. Before it came up short or something like that. And back here, you guys should know that, see this here? And there's a pencil line, that's the last line. In other words, all this piece under here is going to get tucked underneath the boot, and then it gets, you know, they nail it to the bottom, so the boot will actually be here. This gets tucked. Alright, anyway, so what I have to do is, because of costs, each one of these X designs is going to cost $700, and then you figure plus shipping. So for two of these, it's going to be about two grand at least. So that's a lot of money, and it might have to be a third one. I'm not sure. It looks like it might be a third one, so about 3 grand. So this is going to be a metal die cast, and it's going to be a double-sided one. It's going to be made out of metal cast. And then it's going to be like a cookie cutter. You press it down, cuts out the leather, so you get a perfect design every time, rather than what they're doing now is they're taking a razor blade and cutting along. You don't want to be doing that if you're doing a professional product. So this has to be done. And what I'm doing now in that regard is the manufacturer. See all these, let me see. The manufacturer sent me all these designs of the boot, and of course this is the exact leather cutout, so this is what they would cut out in leather as they would work with the boot, and then they would be stitching it all together and whatnot. So, you know, realize that this, of course, the last line, you know, the part of the leather that gets tucked under the boot is going to be here, so I have to measure for that, and the backstay is going to be around here. So I'm going to take you over, but before I take you over to what I'm working on, all these, the X design has to be scaled to fit all these. So I have to take 2 sizes of this X here, only 2 or maybe 3 sizes, and try to scale them so that they all look the same on all of these. At least pretty much the same. Getting the angles right, and that's hard to do. Because these are all the sizes of the boot that I'm offering, you know, like size 7. This is the leather cutout for like a size 7 boot, which is kind of small. So I have to come up with something where the X will fit on here, but it'll also fit on like another 3 sizes up, so 7 and an 8, 7.5 and 8, 8.5, 9, something of that sort. You can see I already started the process. So over here, what I'm doing is, you probably can't see this, but underneath here, there's like a line for the backstay, and I'm cutting out this paper template here, and I'm going to use this paper template for just say 2 or 3 sizes larger. So if I can show you what I'm doing here, there's a line, I can see it, you can't see it, but well, if there's enough sunlight, there's a line that comes like this. I'll have to fix this later. I'm doing this on camera. Let's see. And it comes something like that. Sorry, it's hard to keep it on camera because I'm not actually looking through the camera, I'm looking at this piece of paper here. Okay, so the line goes something like that. So what I have to do is I'm going to fix this up, and then untape it, fix this up here a little bit, and I'm going to cut along that line And then I'm going to use this angle here, take this piece of paper off, use this angle, and then put that angle on one of the larger sizes, say like 11.5. And then I'm going to put that right up against here, and then it's going to give me the proper angle to follow for the backstay here. Because the X, if you look, the X doesn't fit exactly to here, because this piece from here to here is the part that is this part back here on the boot. This is the backstay from here to about here. So this is the angle that I'm cutting along. So this piece corresponding here, this back here, is actually this piece back here. So from here to here, and so on, from here to here, from the middle of the backstay to this part here, you figure is what I was working on right here. Is from this part to this part, and this is the part that gets stitched. So that allows me back to here. That allows me to say, okay, so if I can use that as a template, right? I can line it up, say the backstay is about right there from that point, so that's about the distance it gets sewed, so I can line that up perfectly. And then I would trace along, and you would see how like this gets closer to the stitch, to the eyelets every time. Like this is part of the puzzle that I have to figure out. Not every boot is going to look exactly the same. It's going to look in proportion. Like the angle is going to be like this is going to be the angle on the bottom and the angle, so everything matches the eye and things like that. But this might be forward a little bit or back a little bit, and might not be so far up on the toe. It might be back here a little bit. So this is all because of money. To do this for a separate X template for every size would cost like 15 grand or something, or 20 grand. It's ridiculous. So unfortunately this is what I have to do. So this is my project at the moment, and well, to be continued.